Okay guys, so today we're going to be looking at writing down the equation of a line, right? Now remember last day we looked at that was the first session on equation of a line, and we said that the general form of equation of a line is y is equal to mx plus c, right? Where m was the gradient and c is the y-intercept. So now we're going to actually we're going to learn how to write down the equation of a line if all you're given is the graph, right? So I have a few steps here, so let's just go through the steps. The first step is you write down the y-intercept, right? And we know that the y-intercept is wherever the graph cuts the y-axis. Then the second step is to work out the gradient of a line. Well, with the gradient of the line. We know that the gradient of the line is how steep the line is, and we have a formula that we use to work out that. So we work that out. Once we get those two pieces of information, we would write down the equation of the line in this form. Remember, m is the gradient, so whatever number you get for the gradient, you're going to write it in here. And c is the y-intercept, so whatever value is your y-intercept, you're going to fill that in here, right? And that's the equation of your line. So 3 simple steps. So let's look at this graph that we have here. Okay, hoping you could see that clearly. Right, that's better. All right, so I have this graph here, and we're going to try to work out the equation of it. So we're going to follow the steps, right? Now the first step says to find the y-intercept. The y-intercept is wherever it cuts the y-axis. I hope you guys remember that the y-intercept is the line that runs down here, right? This line is the y-intercept. Where does my blue line cross the y-axis? Right, so this is the y-axis. It cuts here, if you look, right? It cuts it here. And what number is there? There is the number 6, right? So I'm gonna do the work in here, and I'm gonna do it in the first. So this is the first step, right? Is you write down your y-intercept. So y-intercept, or our c value, is 6, right? Which is what we just got from our graph. So that's the first thing, you write down your y-intercept. Next thing you need to do, according to our steps, is work out the gradient. We learned how to do that a couple of videos ago. So this is the first step. Let me just write that. So this is the first step, right? Second step now. So we're going to work out the gradient. Now, in order to work out the gradient, the first thing we want to do is get 2 points, right? The first point and the second point. It don't matter what 2 points you use. So first point. So I'm just going to set it up, right? How I'm going to write out my information. Right? So I write down that there. And I'm going to actually fill out this. Now you could pick any 2 points you want, right? Okay, so why don't we use this one here? Right? If we're going to use this one here, the one this here, right? So it lines up with, on the x-axis it lines up with 0, on the y-axis it lines up with 6, right? So that point there is 0, 6. So I write down that as my first point, 0, 6. Then we need to look at a second point. You can choose, like I said, any point you want, right? So I'm going to use this one right here. It lines up in the x-axis with 2, right? With the y-axis it also lines up with 2. So this point here is called 2, 2. So I'm going to write that down. All right, so we have our 2 points. First point is 0, 6. Second point is 2, 2. Remember we did this already. The next step is to actually write down the formula and plug in our information. So I'm going to write back the formula of a gradient. Remember gradient is m. It's y2 take away y1 over x2 take away x1. Right. This is our first point. This will be x1, y1. This is our second point. This will be x2, y2. Right? So let's plug in information. Y2 is 2. Take away. Yes, y2 is 2. Right. 2. Take away y1. Y1 is 6. Over x2 is 2, take away x1 is 0. So we work that out. We work the top, work the under, and see if it could divide. If not, it's a fraction. I would see if it could reduce. So we work out the top first. 2 take away 6 is negative 4. 2 take away 0 is 2. You're going to get negative 2 as your gradient. So the answer for our gradient is 2. Okay, so we have the last step to do now, right? So I'm writing that down here now, third step. Obviously, you don't need to write it out like this, right? I'm just doing that so that you know what you're doing. All right, so the third step really and truly is just to write out your equation of your line. So the general form of the equation of the line is y is equal to mx plus c, right? What we're going to do is we're going to stick in our m number here and we're going to stick in our c number. Our m number is negative 2, remember m is gradient, negative 2. And our c number is 6, which is what we worked out earlier, right? So I'm just going to write over this, but replace m with negative 2 and replace c with 6. So I'm going to get y is equal to negative 2x plus 6. And that's it. That's the equation of your line. That's your answer. Right, so that's your answer and that's the equation of your line. Okay, so now let's just recap all the steps. Okay, so you're given a question. You're asked to write down the equation of this line. First thing, figure out your y-intercept. Your y-intercept is wherever it cuts the y-axis, so that will be here. Right? Second step is work out your gradient. You pull any 2 points. Right? So it doesn't matter which 2 points you pull. You could have taken this one and this one, or this one and this one, whatever. Just read it all correctly, write it down, work out your gradient. When you finish working out your gradient, you write your answer in the general form, which is y is equal to mx plus c. Replace m and c by the numbers that you just worked out. And that's it. That's the equation of your line from the gradient. Equation of the line from the graph given.